Hello everyone, do you know that our body has a natural pump? And what is the name of natural pump? The name of that natural pump is human heart. So today we are going to learn about human heart and its circulation. So what is the topic of today? Today's topic is human heart and its circulation. You might be very excited to know that our human heart basically beats 70 times per minute. Now, before starting with the circulation of human heart, we must know what is human heart. So, human heart is basically a muscular pump that basically pumps the blood in our body. There are various systems in our human body. The circulatory system is basically the most important system of our human body, as it basically transports various essential nutrients and helps in removal of the excretory waste. So heart is basically a part of a circulatory system. Circulatory system comprises of 3 units, that is human heart, blood vessels and blood. So before starting with the circulation part, we need to find that what is human heart or what is the structure of an human heart. So basically I am drawing a rough diagram over here of the human heart. Our human heart is basically comprises of 4 chambers. How many chambers are there? There are basically 4 chambers of the human heart. The upper 2 are known as auricle and the below 2 are known as ventricle. So this is RA means right auricle. This is RV means right ventricle. So RA right auricle, RV right ventricle. This is LA. This means that left auricle and LV means left ventricle. So upper 2 are known as auricle and below 2 are known as ventricles. These portion are right and these portion are basically left. Now the question might have arisen in your mind. In our notebook, we considered this side as left and this side as right. So why we are writing this side right and this side left? Why? Because we are considering that this human heart is basically placed inside a human being. Like if the heart is placed like this, so this hand is right hand, so this part is basically the right part and the other part is basically the left part. Now the division that is basically separating the left and the right side of the heart is known as septum. What is the division known as? The division is known as septum. Now what is the significance of this septum? The significance of this septum is basically to separate right hand side of the heart to the left hand side. So that is basically a separation between right hand side and left hand side. Now the question is that why we need to separate right side of the heart with the left side? Because right side contain which type of blood? Right side contain deoxygenated blood. Okay, so right part is containing deoxygenated blood. D is for deoxygenation, deoxygenated blood, whereas the left side is containing oxygenated blood. Which blood left side is containing? Oxygenated blood. So this is basically deoxygenated blood and here they are having which type of the blood? That is oxygenated blood. One more important thing in the structure of heart, that is there are valves present. What are present there? There are valves present. And what are valves? Valves are basically one-way gateway. Okay, what are valves? Valves are basically what? One-way gateway. This means that they will allow the flow of the blood only in one direction. Okay, so that is why the valves are present in the blood. Now we have deal with the structure of the heart. Now we will be coming to the part of circulation. How does the blood flow occur in the human heart? So see, in our body there is inferior and superior vena cava. Okay, in your books it might be written clearly that it is a vena cava. So vena cava, or you can say that superior or inferior vena cava ko they combinedly write vena cava. So with the help of the vena cava, all the deoxygenated blood from our body enters into right auricle. So the first chamber of the human heart that will be receiving the blood is the right auricle. So from the body, what happens? The blood is basically carried into right auricle with the help of vena cava. What? With the help of vena cava. Vena cava, as I told you, there are two types of vena cava. One is the superior vena cava, other is the inferior vena cava. So our heart is situated here, slightly towards the left hand side. So what happens? The part that are above the heart, okay, so the deoxygenated blood from there will be carried by the superior vena cava, and the part which are located below the level of the heart, that means downer body part, so from the there deoxygenated blood will be carried by the inferior vena cava. So superior and inferior vena cava, they are combinedly written as vena cava. So the deoxygenated blood from the body enters first into which chamber of the heart? That is right auricle. Now when the right auricle basically gets filled up with the blood, so what happened? There is a lot of pressure in the right auricle, and as I told you, the walls are present. So there is one wall between right auricle and right ventricle. That wall name is basically tricuspid wall. What is that wall that is present between right auricle and right ventricle? That is tricuspid wall. So due to the pressure, what happened? This walls get open and the blood will be entering from right auricle to right ventricle. Okay, so due to the pressure, what is happening? The tricuspid valve is opening and the blood is entering from right auricle to right ventricle. Okay, so I think the two steps are clear. Now what happened when the right auricle get filled up with the blood? So there is one artery that is known as pulmonary artery. What does pulmonary artery do? Pulmonary artery will carry this deoxygenated blood from right ventricle to our lungs. Okay, so from right ventricle the blood is carried to our lungs with the help of which artery? That is known as pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery is basically an exception because rest all other arteries are carrying oxygenated blood. Only pulmonary artery is the artery that is carrying which blood? Deoxygenated blood. And from where to where? From right ventricle to the lungs. Now what happens in the lungs? We know that the blood will take in oxygen and the blood will release out carbon dioxide. So till here the blood was deoxygenated. When it is entering into the lungs, it is taking in oxygen and releasing out what? That is carbon dioxide. So till here the blood was deoxygenated. After it has taken in oxygen and it has given out carbon dioxide, the blood becomes oxygenated, and the oxygenated blood will be reaching to the part of the heart that is known as left auricle with the help of which vein? That is known as pulmonary vein. Okay, so from lungs the blood will be entering into the left auricle with the help of pulmonary vein, and pulmonary vein is also an exception because rest all other veins are carrying which blood? Deoxygenated blood, but the pulmonary vein is the vein that is carrying which type of blood? That is oxygenated blood. So this part was having deoxygenated blood. Now first time the oxygenated blood that is entering into the first chamber of the heart, that is left auricle. Okay, so from here the oxygenated blood flow is basically starting. Now what happened when the left auricle is basically receiving a large amount of blood? So there is an increase in pressure and there is also a valve that is present between left auricle and left ventricle. The name of that valve is known as bicuspid or mitral valve. What is the name of that valve? That is bicuspid or mitral valve. So due to the pressure, the bicuspid or mitral valve will be opening and the left auricle blood will be passing into what? Left ventricle, where it will be passing from left auricle to left ventricle. Now when the left ventricle has received all the blood, so what happens? The pressure in the left ventricle will increase, and what will left ventricle do? It will basically transport all the oxygenated blood to all body parts with the help of the largest artery in our body, that is known as aorta. So from left ventricle the blood will be sent to the body, okay, and with the help of the largest artery, that is aorta. Okay, the name of that artery is known as aorta. Now this chamber of the heart, that is left ventricle, is basically the thickest or the muscular chamber of the heart because it is performing the main function to transport the blood to the all parts of the body with the help of the largest artery, that is known as aorta. Now as our human heart is receiving blood twice, first it is receiving here in the right part, then it is gone to the lungs, then it is received here in the left part. So due to that the human body is having which type of circulatory system? That is double circulatory system. Okay, double circulation. The human heart is performing which type of circulation? That is known as double circulation, as heart is receiving the blood twice. Now the question might have been asked sometime, or you have read this question somewhere, that why does our heartbeat increases when we are doing a physical exercise? So what happens when we are doing a lot amount of physical exercise? So our body needs a lot amount of energy. And how does this energy come? Because when the oxygenated blood, or you can say that oxygen, that is combining with the food that we are basically taking in, that basically releases energy, and that process is known as respiration. So when our body is needing large amount of energy, so our body might need more amount of oxygen to get combined with that blood and to release energy. So that is why when we are doing a physical exercise like running, jogging or anything, so our body needs basically large amount of what? The oxygen. So that is why our heart is beating very, very fast. So I hope that you might have enjoyed this concept.